Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Democrat, taking fire from fellow Democrats after he made it clear he would not support the party's sweeping voting rights bill and that he would not back killing the filibuster to get that done. The move all but ensuring the measure won't pass. Senator Manchin explaining his stance in an op-ed, quote, "I believe that partisan voting legislation will destroy the already weakening binds of our democracy, and for that reason I will vote against the For the People Act. Furthermore, I will not vote to weaken or eliminate the filibuster." Progressive New York Congressman Mondaire Jones likened Manchin's decision to a dark chapter of America's past.
It is, in the first case, intellectually unserious. Senator Manchin would rather preserve Jim Crow on some outdated theory of bipartisanship that frankly does not exist in the same way today as it did a generation ago.
Intellectually unserious, and then he goes to rice. Power panel. John O. Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. Kevin Walling, former Biden campaign surrogate. So why play the race card there, Gianno?
You know what? Interestingly enough, I think if Joe Manchin was black, they probably would be calling him Uncle Tom as well. This is a very interesting place we find ourselves in as a country. Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia, a Democrat, is literally the only person who's looking to save our country from going down a partisan road that's dangerous. The founders, the framers of the Constitution, gave the power to the states to run their elections, and now Democrats are looking to usurp that power and provide it to themselves for the point of continuing to stay in power. And it's one that I think that Joe Biden, with his idea of saying that he was going to be a bipartisan president, he was going to work with Democrats and Republicans, which is becoming a lie on his face because he's not made much effort to work with Republicans on this issue or many others. So thank God for Joe Manchin being a patriot and putting country over party.
So, Kevin, we've heard recently from President Biden, calling out Joe Manchin and also Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona for not necessarily following his agenda and voting like Democrats. What is he going to do now with those who aren't in step with him politically?
Yeah, it's a good question, Harris. I was actually somewhat encouraged by Joe Manchin's op-ed, not necessarily about the filibuster, but his focus on the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that he's actually working with Senator Lisa Murkowski on, Republican from Alaska. And that should get a Senate vote in the coming days and weeks, because that's something that Republicans and Democrats can get behind. And hopefully the White House will turn its attention to really pushing for something that can get past the finish line in the Senate. So that hopefully is something that the president will push for.
Let me just jump in there, because Joe Manchin isn't like any other Democrat. So him going to the table with Lisa Murkowski and wanting to work a deal, what makes you think that other Democrats are going to support that bipartisan result that might come out of that?
Well, many are supportive
in terms of what they're looking at now.
Sure, it's certainly different from H.R. 1, which is the For the People Act that he talks about in that op-ed. But the John Lewis Voting Rights Act actually has fairly good support among Democrats and many Republicans. So I'm hopeful that that will actually get past the finish line in the Senate, and we can kind of take out the partisanship from the process when it comes to voting rights legislation, because it should not be a partisan issue on the right or the left. We should make it easier for Americans to vote in this country.
I want to get to something else, but real quickly, just a yes or no question. How is Joe Biden doing? A yes or no? Is he doing a good job with bipartisan push ahead or not? Kevin?
Yes, as a one-word answer. But that's coming as a former Biden surrogate, so I'm always going to say that, Harris.
Yeah, but you still used more than one word. Gianno.
No. And I don't know what Kevin, where did he just come from today?
And you know why that's important? Because it breaks down party lines. And it makes you wonder whether or not he's really in it to bring them together. All right, let's get to this. CNN's Brian Stelter is getting mocked for an interview yesterday with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Here's how it started.
Busy summer ahead, infrastructure, election reform. What does the press get wrong when covering Biden's agenda?
Look, I think some of our muscles have atrophied a little bit over the last few years. I don't know if that's the press getting it wrong. I'll leave you to the critique of that, Brian, but...
My muscles are okay as a journalist. I don't know what you mean. I work out every day. On Twitter, a Newsbusters analyst calling it bootlicking Another tweet. What a subservient question. The Federalist, Molly Hemingway, with this. Our corrupt media are absolutely nothing more than propagandists. I come to you, Gianno Caldwell.
You know what? I got to tell you, what we've seen the press do when it comes to President Kamala Harris, as Joe Biden sometimes call her, and Joe Biden is nothing more than protect them and ensuring that the public view them in a particular light. Certainly what we've seen from the 2016 election up into the 2020 election with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is Democrats, or rather members of the press, operate like Democrats with press passes. And it's very, very unfortunate because at this particular time, instead of asking about what kind of ice cream Joe Biden might have had, they should be talking about the very serious issues and uniting our country, because we're still in the midst of a pandemic, but we're not really seeing that seriousness in the press with a number of these media outlets.
How do you defend the fawning that we've seen among some in the media over the current administration? Kevin, real quick.
Yeah, Harris, I mean, I can only defend what I say on television and not, defend what other media professionals say.
What are you watching?
So, what's that?
It's out there. It's everywhere. My goodness.
I mean, I'm a Democrat that goes on Fox News, so I watch Fox quite a bit. So I'm going to let Brian Seltzer defend and CNN defend themselves.
You watch when you're on. I know that. You'll roll it back. I follow you on Twitter. All right, guys. Kevin, it's always great to have you. I'm just teasing.
Good to see you, Harris.
It's good to have you,
Gianno.